Hey guys, good afternoon here. Let's go ahead and take a look at just a few names that I'll be looking at. Matter of fact, I'll be doing a video for each individual one. The Costco one's a little bit longer because I wanted to look at it from a bigger picture to a small picture and really be able to teach you guys all week long why the levels either work or they don't work. And that way we can have an entire week process of just education around one name, one blueprint, and so forth. So these will be a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and get started. So this one for Netflix, I'm going to make this really easy. I'm looking at the divergence between current price and the cloud, and you can see here it's pretty wide. They had their earnings, they dropped quite a bit. You could see that overhead. I'll tell you the divergence that's being created from an inside and down to current price is pretty insane. And what I mean by that is if you look here, this is the inside and down. Um, there is no sign that we are on an inside right now for the monthly. So I would like it better if for some reason, let's say March closes inside. All right. And then we could go inside and up like this into the next quarterly earnings. Or down here on the monthly, we have the opposing zone. So what we could be looking at is right in here. Okay. And then you have this box that's here. All right. So these could be the opposing zones that we're working with. And right now, with the price of Netflix underneath the cloud still, we could see the lows taken out and then price move back into this green box. And this is where I really would be interested in taking a long-term trade. Now, far as, coming off a pretty strong week, let's look at that really quickly. You can see nice hammer. This was almost a double bottom right here, but we did make a higher low. And we finished the week pretty strong with this hammer, just like the rest of the market, really. And so what I'll be looking at very closely is whether or not we can go inside and up here. Notice that this candle came all the way from down here at around 354 and closed around 391. Big move inside. And the question is, just like the rest of the market, are we going to go inside and up? And if we do, I think we can make our way up here towards our first target at 406 and potentially into 418. A couple ideas here are obviously call debit spreads to the upside. I personally would just take some fibs here. I'm right up into this pivot high, actually go into this level here. And you can see this actually lines up with almost with a 50. So from here, I'd be looking at 390 to 400. So maybe 395 to 400 would be my debit spread going into tomorrow if we don't gap up or something like that. All right. That would be my debit spread. As far as a directional, again, I'd probably most likely closer to 400. We'll have to see where we open. If you're going for some sort of lotto, then I would be looking at this 50, which is at around 405. Now, let's say that the market pulls back. That's okay. If the market pulls back, I want to take these fibs here really quickly, and I'm going to pick the low, which is of last week's candle, come up to the pivot high, and I want to see if we get into the area of 23 and 38.2. This is where I'd want to buy those debit spreads. So again, if we don't take off and go inside and up, but we pull back into this zone, this is where I'm also interested in taking the call side. And one thing I could do is just right click on there, go to my settings, and I've already created what's called a bull channel. So just like that, you can see the levels. So the levels are around 383.86. And again, you can round up if you want. You could just say like 384 by 378. 384 by 378. If we come into that area, I'll be watching for a reclaim, and then I'll be buying those strikes to the upside. So buying that dip if we come into here. As always, if for some reason there's a crazy sell-off and there's no opportunity to buy, I'm simply not doing anything until we come to one of our edges, which you can see we have a lower edge down here. All right. So that's the plan going for Netflix. Again, I like the divergence, especially on the monthly, but right now we have a nice divergence even on the weekly. And we could see some continuation here in Netflix. So that is my plan. If you have any other further questions, let me know, and I will be happy to look into that further for you. You guys have a good one. We'll see you soon.